There is no two ways about this, my friends. This is a mess. This is an embarrassment. Congratulations to United for getting the player. But what happened to us being monitoring, waiting, looking, holding around just in case Real Madrid didn't get that deal done? That quickly went away, and then all of a sudden we have the FSG apologists at the Echo coming out with the line that Liverpool aren't in a priority looking for a centre-back. It isn't a position that we need to fill. What? That and lots more, my friends, over the next couple of hours. There's no dressing this up. It is an embarrassment. Now, I'm not saying the world is over, the earth's fallen down, but how many times do we have to be sold down the river by our owners before some people grow a backbone and some people start to speak out? And before people come in and say, well, Craig, what do you want? Do you want oil baron owners? No, I don't. It doesn't have to be one extreme to the other. We can have a sensible, rational conversation. But once again, we've been sold the vision, sold the dream, and no delivery. No end product. No player, no signing. It isn't Real Madrid. If he'd gone to Real Madrid, I promise you I wouldn't be sitting here now as frustrated as I am. He's not on huge wages at Manchester United. You're looking at about 120 grand a week. Not ridiculous money. So what went wrong? Why were Liverpool so far removed from this conversation? Imagine if we had Saudi money. I don't want Saudi money, Steve. We don't need it, and that's the thing. I know that people are tempted to go from like one extreme to the other, but our owners could spend more money, mate, and that's where my frustration is. I've said it so many times. I don't think they're the worst owners in the world, but I've always maintained my stance that they're cheap, and they've lied to us again. We were told by everybody and sundry that if Real Madrid don't make the play, that Liverpool are looking, monitoring and ready to move. Well, United got it done. No Champions League football, they still got it done. What have we done? Failed. Again. It's not 180k, Hamza. It's not 180k. That's an absolute lie. He's on €7 million per year before tax, plus 2 million in potential bonuses. That's about £120,000 per week. So again, happy to talk the numbers, happy to discuss them, but let's get the right numbers out there. He isn't on £180,000 a week or anything close to it. Do you think that Yoro won't perform to his expectations? Look, I don't know. Anybody signing Leny Yoro should be willing to be a little bit patient with the guy. He's 18 years of age and it might take him time to settle in. Remember, when Real Madrid were looking at this kid, their note from their scouting department said, sign him at all costs. It doesn't matter if he takes time to settle into the team. It doesn't matter if he takes time to get to the level. They're convinced longer term that he'll get there. Now, I don't know, as of now, what happened with the Real Madrid situation, but United moved quickly and got it done. And it looks bad for us. There's no dressing it up. There's no trying to make it sound better. It looks really poor on our part. Just a reminder that the Echo understands that Liverpool do not hold an active interest in bringing Mark Gay to Anfield. The Crystal Palace defender has been linked with a number of clubs this summer, but Liverpool are not considering a move for him. All that's fine, but this next line is the one that boils my blood. Centre-back is not a priority area of reinforcement for the club this window, despite the exit of Joel Matip at the end of last season. I'm sorry, but that's absolute nonsense. We've already seen James Pearce and others say that Liverpool want to sign a centre-back, a midfielder and a forward. The Echo are a disgrace. I don't know who reads and believes this crap. How can they say we don't need a centre-back when all of last season we were short at centre-back? Now that we have an opportunity to strengthen it, all of a sudden we're being told that it's not a priority? Well, let's look at the situation, shall we? We have Virgil van Dijk, currently in the last year of his contract, 33 years of age, world class. We have Jarell Quansah, young centre-back, plenty of time for there, no problems with that. And we've got Ibrahima Konate. On top of that, you've got Joe Gomez, who's more utilised as a fullback, and Sepp van den Berg, who wants out of the football club. In what world do we not need at least one centre-back? I don't know who comes up with this nonsense at the Echo and who writes it, who edits it. It is absolutely pie in the sky stuff, and it is just, again, echoing, parroting the club without challenging them. It's embarrassing. Who do they represent? Do they represent their readers? Or do they just want to brown-nose the club a little bit more to make sure they get that once every 3-year interview with John W. Henry? I don't get it. I'm getting fed up of it. I'm getting fed up of people not calling these owners out for being cheap. How many times do we have to be embarrassed? Bellingham, we were in that conversation till we weren't. Tchouaméni, in that conversation till we weren't. And with him, I understand. Mbappe, never really going to be in that one, were we? But Yoro, we were assured that should anything change with Real Madrid, Liverpool were ready to pounce. Liverpool were ready to match the offer of Manchester United. Except we didn't, and we weren't. And now we're being told we don't need a centre-back? Come on now. This is honestly ridiculous. Arne Slot is kind of getting screwed, said Yannick, not going to lie. He's getting 0 players that he wants to fit his style of play. So look, the next thing that you're going to hear from people, my man, is going to be that there's plenty of time left in the window. That Liverpool don't panic. That Liverpool are looking for the August transfers. The season's a month away. Never mind when the window ends. We start playing competitive football in a month. And Arne Slot has no signings. In fact, we've gone backwards. Remember all the time that we were told that we were £18.7 million up on wages? Well, seems like they're afraid to spend any of that money. What are we doing? Who are we after? And what on earth is happening at the football club? It isn't good enough. It isn't acceptable. And you shouldn't have to accept it. Any United fans coming in, look, congrats. Good signing for you guys. You gazumped us on this one. You got one over us. No problem admitting that. I'll call it as I see it. It's embarrassing for us. We are a club that are in the Champions League. A club that finished 3rd last year in the Premier League. And we're supposed to believe that once again, we didn't want to spend the money. Because that's what's being put out here. I'm going to read you out something from Ian Doyle of the Echo. Liverpool didn't think they could justify making an 18-year-old the second most expensive defender in their history, given the personnel already at their disposal. That is embarrassing from Ian Doyle and the Echo again. So, we don't want to spend money on somebody who could be a solution at centre-back for the next 12 years when we know that Virgil has 1 year left on his deal? What are we at? How are we supposed to read that with a straight face? Despite, because of the personnel already at our disposal. Let that sink in. What personnel? The 2 young centre-backs and the ageing centre-back? And then nobody? It's mental. Arsenal getting Calafiori. United probably Lille and already signed Leny Yoro, or about to sign Leny Yoro. Meanwhile, we're being lied to again. We're being bait and switched again. I will remind you of FSG's own wording. They want to under-promise and over-deliver. They've delivered nothing except misery. Could be not proven. No, he isn't proven. That's fair. But he's a generational talent. That is undoubtedly going to be a success. It might not be this year. It might take a year. He might take time to settle into United in the Premier League. Same as anybody else. But we're not going to sit here with a straight face and say PSG, Liverpool, Man United, Real Madrid and all these other clubs wanted this kid, and now that we don't get him, all of a sudden we're back to making excuses for the owners. Come on guys, we're better than that. Be honest with yourself. Don't try and make everybody feel better. Be honest. It's a shit show. And not only are we not interested in the generational talent 18-year-old, according to the Echo and their journalists, we don't even need a centre-back. Everything's brilliant. So Ricky Keeley, how are you my man? Said, Craig, as a United fan, I'm delighted. But Yoro will be like Ronaldo. He'll go to Real Madrid after a contract of 23. We won't have him for 12 years. That's absolutely possible, Ricky. And I respect where you're coming from on it, mate. Could well happen. But I'm going to take you back to a video, Ricky, that we made a few days ago. Five transfers that almost happened for Liverpool but didn't. And one of them, mate, is the very gentleman you've just spoken about, Cristiano Ronaldo. Liverpool didn't sign him because they didn't want to give him £1 million signing on bonus and didn't think that he was worth the transfer fee. And then Phil Thompson said a few weeks later he sees that he signs for Manchester United, and the rest, as they say, mate, is history. Every time we're linked and told that we can sign these generational talents, nothing happens of it. and we'll end up with an opportunistic, which is another word for cheap, option. And some of our fans are just okay with it. I don't get it. I don't get why. Look, I'm not going in on the manager here. I'm not going in on Richard Hughes here. I'm going in on the owners, because the buck stops with them. Everybody else can just do what they can do. You can only spend what you're allowed to spend. You can only do what you can do. The owners are making this a conscious decision not to back the manager, not to actually have Liverpool challenging for success. It's an embarrassment, and I don't see how people can still make excuses for them.